after realization. And there the master is refuting everything that he is saying, that this is also not true. This is also not true. The only truth is the self, which can never be spoken, which can never be expressed, which can never be contemplated. And whatever is contemplated, whatever is expressed, whatever is spoken about or heard is all false. So, in the Bhagavad Gita also we find reflections of this Ajatabad, that is the theory of birthlessness. So this is Astavakra Gita. Now, how did it start? What happened? What is the history of Astavakra Gita? Janaka was a very powerful king of India. He was a very spiritual person. We find the name of Janaka in many spiritual texts. In the Upanishads also, we find references of Janaka seeking for truth to various masters, to various other saints. So he was a very powerful king. So in his kingdom, in his courtyard, there was a rule that the spiritual texts had to be read every day for some time, and everybody has to listen. Even Janak used to listen to what has been read. So Janak, one day when this spiritual text was read out and everybody was sitting there, including Janak, there is a reference in the Advaita Vedanta, in the spiritual texts, that the time taken for realization of the self is very similar or is equal to the time you take to climb a horse. That is, when you set the foot, when you set foot in one saddle of the horse, and the time taken to put another foot into another saddle, that is the time taken by you to climb the horse, is the time which is needed for a self-realization. So when Janak heard this, he stopped the person who was reading this. He said, is it true that for self-realization, this is the time, which is needed, just a few seconds, a matter of seconds? Because to climb a horse, how much time do you need? You may need 3 or 4 seconds, maybe 5, maybe 10 maximum, not more than that. So is it that only in 10 seconds you can realize the self? The person who was reading, he said yes. So then Janak said, okay, let's go, let's bring a horse, and I'm climbing the horse, and you show me how to realize the self in this time. So the person who was reading, he said, I cannot show you, the truth of what is written here. Janak said, why? Why you cannot say? Why you cannot show? The man said that I have not realized the truth. I have not realized what is written here. I'm just reading. I'm a Brahmin. I'm a Pandit. I'm a scholar of Vedanta, of Vedas, of Vedanta, and I'm reading it. But I've not realized. I'm not an enlightened soul. So Janak said that if you don't know whether, if you cannot make people realize what you preach, what you teach, that means that you are speaking lies. It's not true, because you cannot show them the truth of what you are preaching. So you are a liar. And thus Janak put that scholar into jail. The next day, many other scholars came. After hearing that Janak has put one scholar into jail, one Brahman into jail, into the prison, many other scholars came And Janak asked the same question. Is it true what is written here? Everybody said yes. So Janak said, okay, if it is true, then show me how it is true. I'm climbing a horse and, do something so that I can realize myself. And no scholars could do that. No scholars could show him the truth of what is written in the scriptures. So Janak put everybody into jail. All the scholars, they were sent into prison. At one time, the entire kingdom of Janaka, that is Mithila, was devoid of Brahmins. Everybody fled away. All the remaining scholars and the Brahmins who used to practice Vedanta or who used to preach Vedanta in the schools or anywhere elsewhere, they all fled. They all fled his kingdom Mithila into different other countries, into different other states of India. So when the situation was thus, one day Astavakra, he came to the court of Janak. Astavakra means his body was folded in eight like his body was he had an eightfold body. That is, his body was folded in eight ways. Vakra means folded, and Ashta means eight. Like we have this disease called polio, where we see that the body is folded. The body is, so that is how his body was, and that is why people used to call him Astavakra. But he was a great scholar. He was a great enlightened soul. So he came to the kingdom of Janak. He came to the court of Janak, and just seeing the aura of that person, seeing the light which he was reflecting through his face, through his body, Janak, knew that this is the man. This is a great spiritual master. So with utmost respect, Janak greeted him and gave him a high seat, and Janak sat in his feet. And then Astavakra asked Janak, what is happening? Why have you put all the scholars into prison? Then Janak, he elaborated the whole story. This is the reason why I put everybody into prison. Astavakra asked Janak, do you want to know the truth of what is written in the scriptures? Janak said yes. So Astavakra said, okay, then do one thing. Free these people. Let them go free. And come with me with a horse into the woods. So instantly Janak, released everybody whom he had captivated, and he went with Astavakra into the forest with a horse. So in the forest, Janak put 1 foot in one saddle, and just the time when he was going to climb the horse, Astavakra said, wait. Don't you know that to realize the truth, you need a master? Janak, at that point, he said, O Astavakra, O master, I accept you as my master, and I devote my body, my mind, and all my belongings to you. Everything is yours. So when Janak said this, Astavakra retired into a nearby cave. He didn't say a word. He just heard what Janak said, that, oh master, from now on, I accept you as my spiritual guide, as my spiritual master, as my guru. And I devote my body, my mind, and my all belongings to you. So Astavakra retired into a nearby cave. After a long, long time, when he came out of the cave, Astavakra found that Janak was still standing there in the same posture as he was before. His legs, his feet, his one feet into one saddle, his hands in the reins of the horse, and in a bending position, standing in the same way, the way he left. So after coming out of the cave, Astavakra asked Janak, "O king, why are you standing in this way?" Janak said that, "Master, I have given everything to you. I've given my mind, I've given my body, I've given my all belongings to you. All my wishes are yours. My mind is yours. So I do not know what to do. And that is why I'm standing in this way." Hearing thus, Astavakra was very, very pleased. He said, "Janak, these words that you have heard, that the time taken for a person to realize is the same time for a person to climb a horse, to put one foot in one saddle and to put another foot into another saddle. This is meant for very, very high quality spiritual aspirants. And you are that high quality spiritual aspirant. It's written for you. It's not written for everybody. It's for you that they've written that this is the time that you will take, you will need for self-realization." And then Astavakra told Janak, "Janak, behold this idea firmly. Behold this idea firmly that you are the birthless, pure, intelligent, liberated soul, eternal soul. Behold this idea." The moment Astavakra said this, Janak went into the state of samadhi. He was completely dissolved into the state of samadhi, into the state of highest samadhi, where the whole mind gets dissolved into the self, which we call as turiya, which we call as nirvikalpa samadhi. So Janak went into that state instantly. And after that, he came out. He experienced the truth. He experienced that non-dual, creationless state, creationless self, non-dual self. After he came out, Astavakra asked him, "O king, do you have any other confusion? Do you have any other question?" Janak said, "With your grace, I don't have any question at all. I'm free. I'm free. I can feel myself." And he felt so happy. He felt so pleased. He felt so blissful, so peaceful. And he started to, elaborate what he felt. And Astavakra then said, "This is also not true. This is also not true." And the dialogue between Janak and Astavakra, after Janak had already realized the self, he came out of the state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That dialogue is known as Astavakra Samhita. So today we are going to read this Astavakra Samhita at one place that I've chosen, and that is knowledge of the self part. So before we start, as we do, let us meditate a little bit, and then we start. If you have any question, you can ask. So let's start. It's talking about the self, the knowledge of the self. It says, Tat. Tat means one who is very dear to me. Spiritual son or spiritual, disciple is very, very dear to the master. Not because he regards that person as his master, not because of that, but because the master sees this genuine urge of truth in him, the genuine urge to realize the truth, the genuine urge to realize the self, which is the most important thing in this world, which is the only goal of our life. And that is why the master always loves his disciple. He has a great feelings, he has a great, love in his heart for the disciple, because he sees these disciples, these people, they are working to know the truth. And knowing the truth does not only benefit me. In the Gayatri mantra, we have one word called Yona. Yona. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. What is this Yona? It says, when we worship this light, the sun, when I'm worshiping the sun, I am not the only one who is benefiting from that. My worshiping you is benefiting everybody in this universe. So one person who is undergoing a journey towards the self, towards truth, towards light, is not only benefiting himself, he is benefiting the entire universe. There was one saint in India called Rishi Aurobindo. He said that the self-knowledge person, the self-realized person, the self-realized souls are the cream of this society. The person who has realized the self is the cream of this society. Means, if you realize the self, you not only benefit yourself, you always carry the entire, You always carry the entire nectar of divinity, enter nectar of divinity, enter nectar of truth with you. And while you carry them, they get infused into others, you know, effortlessly. You don't need to put any effort for that. A aspirant makes an effort to know the self. But after you have known the self, you don't need to, make any effort to propagate your only being, your staying, your just being is the effort. When you just stay there, when you just be there, that is the only way by which you radiate the knowledge of the self in others effortlessly. And that is why, the master loves his disciples so much, because one day they're going to radiate this effulgence of knowledge into everybody effortlessly. The life will become, the life will become the storehouse of light, where they will only radiate light into humanity. So he says, Tat, O dear one, Chinmatra ruposi nate bhinnamidam jagat. Whatever you see in this world, bhinnam idam jagat. When you see this world, you see everything to be different. There are differences, there are varieties, there are different names, there are different forms. Everything looks different from the other. But in the self, but in the core, everything is chinmatra, everything is consciousness. Whatever you see in this world, everything may look different. Everything may look different from each other, but everything is consciousness. Nothing is devoid of consciousness. It is only consciousness which is there. There is no matter at all. So when there is only consciousness, where is matter? Where is world? Where is creation? Where is destruction? Where is ignorance? And where is knowledge? Where is bondage? Where is liberation? Everything is false. Everything is just a wrong conception. That's all. We are just having a wrong conception. In truth, nothing exists but consciousness. Chinmatra ruposi, you are the only, your only form is, your form is only consciousness. Chinmatra. Your form is only consciousness. You don't have any other thing within you. You will look like a human being. You will look like a human being. You will look like an Asian. You will look like an African or an American or a European. But you are not that. You may have different names. You may have different forms. You may have different backgrounds. But your only identity, your only nature is this, that you are consciousness only. Tat chinmatrosi nate bhinnamidam jagat atah kasya katham kutra heyapadeya kalpana. And that is why, why do you think about this world, these little details of this world? You have no connection with this world. The world does not exist at all. The world is just evident. It's just evident. It's not there. It's like a mirage. When I'm going into the desert, I see water, but there is no water. If, by seeing this water, if I just run towards the water, I will never reach water. It's only sand. It's only sand. Water is not there. This vision of water is but delusion. This vision of water is but delusion. In the same way, this world that you see, the world that you see is only delusion. It does not have any relation with the reality, and the reality is it's only consciousness. And it's not only the world that is consciousness, it's you also who is consciousness. You and the world, you and everything of this world is but one. One. There's no two, there's one. Ekameva advitiyam. Only one. It's not two. That is why don't monger into the details of this world too much. Don't gossip. Don't gossip around and don't pay heed to gossips. Just remain in yourself. Just remain in yourself. You are the self. You are consciousness absolute. You are consciousness absolute. Feel it as much as you can. Be with it as much as you can. This is your only duty. This is your only work. And the other works, all the works, this all will happen according to the law of nature. The nature will put your body into all actions. You are not responsible for the actions, for the karmas, for the works. So leave all these, just shed all these ideas of work, of this doership and the doer. I have responsibilities. I have duties. These are all maya. These are all, ignorance. When there is no doer, where there is things to be done, there is nothing to be done. Why? Because there is no doer at all. Then how this work is done? These works that are done by the nature. I am the self. I am the self. Let me be in the self. Let me be the self. Let me be the self. Ekasmin avvaye shanti chidakaso amale twayi. Your nature. Twayi, your nature. What is your nature? What is your nature? Ekasmin. You're one. You're one without a second. So every second thing that you see is that one only. So there is no two. You are that one. Ekasmin. You are that one. Avvaye. Avvaye means indestructible. Things which cannot be destroyed. Vay. Vay means, expense. Expense. Avvaya. Things which cannot be expensed. You can, you can just keep expensing, but it's not going to end. It's unending. It's unending. It's unlimited. Infinity. Indestructible. So you are indestructible. You are not, you are not going to die. You are not going to die. Your nature is avvaya. Avvaya means indestructible. You are that one indestructible. So just leave all this, anxiety about your body, about this disease, about everything. You're one. You are that indestructible. Shanti. You are peace. You don't seek peace. You don't have to seek peace. You are that peace. You are that peace. Don't seek peace. You are that peace. ekasmin avvaye shante chidakasho chidakasha chidakash. You are like, the sky, but the sky is a matter. The sky is a matter. You are a sky of consciousness. You are like the sky, but not this sky. This sky is matter. Sky is infinite, like it's all pervading, it's everywhere. So you are also everywhere like the sky, but you are not this sky. You are Chidakash, you are the sky of consciousness. You are not in this body. Though you remain in this body, though you reside inside this body, but you are not in this body. How? Like, in one vessel. In one vessel, we have the sunlight. We have the sunlight in one vessel, but the sunlight is everywhere, all pervading. It's not only in the vessel, but when we see the sunlight in the vessel, we may think that the sunlight is only inside the vessel and there is no other sunlight anywhere. It's not the case. Sun is all pervading everywhere. It's outside the vessel. It's also inside the vessel. It's everywhere. It's there where there is no vessel also. So you are that Chidakasha. You are that Akash. You are that sky of consciousness. All pervading. Be free. Feel yourself to be free from this body, free from all the sanskaras, all your past impressions. Feel free from your mind. Your mind is binding you. And we are all getting stuck inside the mind. Don't get stuck inside the mind. Just expand yourself. Expand yourself by being what you are. You don't need to expand yourself. You are expansion. You are that, expanded soul. You are all pervading. Just be what you are. Don't be what you are not. You are not this body. You are not the mind. You are not the intellect. You are not the ego. But this mind, this intellect, this body, this, ego, they are the one which influences you all the time. And because it influences you all the time, you tend to think that you are this. Whatever they show you, you think that this is the truth, but it's not the truth. The truth is this, that ekasmin avvaye shante chidakasho chidakasha amale. You don't have any stains. You're pure. You're clean. You're sinless. You're sinless. You're clean. You're pure. Completely pure, clear. Crystal clear, pure. You don't have any sin at all. Chidaka ekasmin avvaye shante chidakasha amale tvai. You are that tvai. Oh divine self. Oh divine self. You are that one indestructible, the indestructible peace, the sky of consciousness, and stainless, pure. Where did it go? Yes. Kuto janma, kuta karma, kuta ahankara evacha. Where there is birth, where there is duties, where there is karmas, where there is ego, this that you see is all Maya. Your real nature is this, that you are one, you are, indestructible, you are peace, you are the sea of, you're the ocean, you're the sky of consciousness. You're the sky of consciousness, you're clean, you're pure. That is you. Where is birth? If you are the sky of consciousness, where is birth? The birth is of the body. Can the body, hold the sky? Is it possible? It's impossible. You are not only the sky, you are the sky of consciousness. The sky itself is big, but with that you have consciousness. You are the one we have power, intelligence. So the body cannot hold this intelligence. The body cannot hold this sky of consciousness. So the body dies, the body takes birth. It's not yours. It's not yours. Where is birth? Where is karma? Karma, actions. When do we do action? Whenever we have crisis, whenever we have unfulfillment, we want to fulfill ourselves. We want to fulfill our crisis with some karma, with some work, with some action. I am fulfilled always. I am eternally fulfilled. I am eternally fulfilled. So when I am eternally fulfilled, where is my karma? I do not have any karma. I see karma. Swamiji, I see karma. I do karma. This is your ignorance. You don't have any karma at all. Whatever karma you see is only your ignorance. That's all. Where is your birth? Where is your karma? Where is your ego? This I is not I. The I, your I is that one. Your I is that one. The I, that one, the sky of consciousness, that is your I. This I is not your I. Do you realize this? When you say I, do you realize that this is not I? This is not even the reflection of that I. This is not even the shadow of that I. It is just it is just evident. It's just a delusion. That's all. It's a snake in the rope. It has no connection with the real I. It has no connection with the real I. The rope and the snake has no connection at all. Rope is a rope. Snake is the snake. If I say that rope and snake is similar, no, it is not similar also. Rope is a matter. Snake is consciousness. It is life. It's lifeless. It does not have any similarity. Only the outer form. That's all. Only the outer form. So this I that you see is similar from the outer level to that real I, and that is why you consider this I to be your real I. It is not your real I. It is your ego, ahankara. It's your ego, ahankara. It's false. It's not you. So when you say I, always remember that this is not your I.